I never use this card. I don't know, dude. He said, hey, if it goes 60 days, we automatically shut it down.
Oh no.
I'm like, bro, seriously? That is hilarious, man. Why would they take the time to, it's just such a waste.
Okay, you aren't understanding my question then, because there is no go live button anymore.
See this is like, this ruins
It's ending. So it is. Go ahead and start, guys. Apparently you're live.
Oh, we are live? What's up, guys?
There you go.
Are we live? Can you guys hear us? Welcome. So we were actually just waiting for more people to show up, and we were just chilling.
It's amazing. Sam, we're going to talk about, I can't believe we're live already. We're still early.
Yo, Kelly.
Hey, everyone.
What's up, Kelly? You can see, Kelly. He was on...
Kelly, yes. Kelly is with...
Hit Network.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Kelly. How you doing, buddy?
Kelly tried to join our Twitter Spaces yesterday, but he came at the last minute, so we couldn't have him. I clipped him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people were panicking yesterday, Sam, at 60,000. I think I added the price. In fact, let's just pull this up. Good morning, everyone. Appreciate you showing up. We are a little disorganized this morning, and it will appear that I'm still disorganized. I wanted to show you guys some charts. We're below 60,000. We're at 50. Let me just see where we are now. They got me working on my toes today. We're at 57,249. I got two big dogs down here rolling around on the carpet thinking this is a great entry point. I agree with you guys, Woodrow. Abbott, I agree. This is a good entry point. We are 24% off of the 74,000 high. I made a commitment to myself when we were hitting those highs that if we ever had that retracement again at the 20% level, that I would start re-entering. And I've been doing that for the last 2 days. I picked up some this morning right here, about 57.5. I picked up some yesterday at 62, 60, 61, and 59.5. Added about, I'd say 4 or 5% to my stack. That's the way I'm looking at it now. How many more Bitcoin can I just keep adding? Gosh, I love this. It's really amazing to me, Sam, that I have a fairly heavy investment in Bitcoin, and it's the only investment I've ever made into an asset class that I want the price to go down. Like, people are talking about it going down to 52 and 49. I'm like, bring it, man. That would be so awesome. Because look, the truth is, I've had a big negative swing here on paper. It's 7-digit swings. They don't bother me, though. They don't bother me because my time horizon, I was listening and talking to Chris Inks. Chris is a chartist. And
before our Twitter Spaces yesterday, or when were you talking?
Just all doing it because I speak to him quite a bit.
True.
Ask him for advice. And even though I'm not a day trader like he is, I like having his input just on what he's seeing, so that if I am a continual buyer, and I am a continual, I'm just aggregating, bringing in. It's almost like I'm farming, Hey, look, I can produce some more corn that never goes bad.
Yeah.
I don't have a storage facility for this corn. I just stick it on a hard wallet, cold wallet, store it, whatever, however I decide to hold my Bitcoin. But it never goes bad, and these pullbacks are allowing me to continue to grab some of this, right? Imagine if it was just going straight up. Everybody was complaining about buying 74 the other day and 72. Now you have a chance to buy 57. If you don't think about, the point I was trying to make about Chris was my allocation, the size of my Bitcoin relative to my other positions in life, right? Whether I need a car or a house or, funding this business, like relative to my liquid net worth, I've set some parameters of what I want in terms of Bitcoin, and my duration is 4 to 8 years. Like I'm going to survive through this whole next halving and make it through the ETFs, make it through all the lawsuits, make it through the SEC, Treasury Department going after all the bad guys, trying to clean up the space, which is, you know, we had a big event yesterday with Roger Ver, Bitcoin Jesus being arrested in Spain. That's really excited a lot of people going, whoa, the reach of the United States government is pretty heavy duty. Also, I think people are beginning to understand that tax fraud has no statute of limitations. No statute of limitations, and this has been over 10 years. So there's no you know, event horizon where if you cheated or you did something naughty some time ago, there's no place for you to just go into hiding and think it's going to be all okay. So I think, oh, here we go. Look, Sam's doing some cool stuff. See, here we are. This is a 4-hour chart. If you scan out on that chart a little bit, Sam, probably let me do it. I don't really like 4-hour charts. The charts that I like to look at are 1 day and 1 week, because that is my time horizon. Okay.
Can I ask you a quick
Yeah,
question
yeah,
just
yeah.
on something you said earlier
Sure.
though? You were saying that Bitcoin's the only asset class you get like excited when it goes down. Why is that? Because don't you apply that same methodology to any asset class? So like maybe that's the incorrect view, but even if housing goes down, you're like, ooh, I can scoop up cheap property. If the stock market goes down, hey, it's buying time. Like, what's the feeling? What's the difference between other asset classes that you get more excited about when Bitcoin goes down as opposed to others?
Well, the supply and demand elements of Bitcoin are so far superior to like natural gas. You know, if you're holding a really large position of natural gas, which I have done before, and it goes down and it keeps going down, like it's not like you're going to just hold that position forever and ever. The cool thing about Bitcoin, and not that natural gas is going to go bad, but the time decay and the ability for natural gas to show up in unbelievable volume depending on price. So as the price goes up, you know, more volume is going to hit the market.
Whereas this is a steady amount of volume.
Bitcoin, man, it has this supply and demand component to it that can't be altered. See, there's no price. For instance, you drive this price down to $40,000 and, you know, coins are just going to go like, we're going to all back up. I'm going to hold on. I'm probably not going to buy either. I'm going to get scared. But because of the volatility of Bitcoin, which we've had, and people complain about it.
Yeah.
For me, okay, this is the point I'm trying to make to everyone. Hey, look, this is a time horizon from 2023. I just grabbed anything, right? This is October 2023. It's about a year. What is that, a year? Not even a year, right? We're 6 months. We've gone from 26 grand up to 34, okay? Then rolled right into 42. Backed off, came back to 39, okay? Went straight up to 74, okay? And now we're chopping. These chops are big, okay? They're not small chops. This went from 51 to 74. This is a matter of, that's March, bro. March, and then it comes all the way down in 10 days, okay, to 61, $13,000 move. Goes back up another $10,000 move. Comes down again 3 days later, another $10,000 move. I mean, these are huge opportunities to be able to buy these, okay? Like I was setting bids right up here going, hey, look, this will correct at 20%. It always corrects at 20 to 30%. Like if you're not comfortable with it, David Hill, if you're not comfortable with this thing going down 20 or 25%, this is what Bitcoin does. This is like a woman that you know on the 27th and 28th of the month, she's going to have a freak out, right? but you know it coming into it.
Yeah, so
So
you're
you
prepared.
hey, you get to go to Las Vegas, man.
I was thinking buy take home flowers or something, but you just get out of town.
You get the fuck out of town, right, for 2 days. But my point is that I get to alter. My time horizon is 4 to 8 years. Okay, and let's just remember what 4 to 8 years looks like in Bitcoin terms.
And previously,
In Bitcoin US dollar terms, okay? This is 23. See, the chart's actually very difficult to even manage because it's such a cool period of time. This is simply 2 years, dude. November 22. Okay, we're at 16,000. We're at 74. I don't know what the fuck you guys want, man. Okay, this is monster moves. 2 years, 16.5 to 74. Now we're at 57, and people are bitching. If you got a phone there, I got.
yeah.
But what kind of return is that? Okay. Now I'm sorry if you didn't buy 16.5. I didn't buy enough 16.5 because it scared the heck out of me. But this is a 57,000. Okay, it's an 80% move. I mean, it's a good. I just don't get why people get jacked up. Okay, if you're not selling this Bitcoin right here, why do you care if the price is 57? Other than, hey, wow, I get to buy some more. Like I am going to buy as soon as this thing's over. I will buy at this point. In fact, I've been doing this now long enough. I'm beginning to get comfortable. I'm just waiting now. I mean, if you see the way I'm layering my bids in, it's like, okay, I'm at 57,100. I'll buy one Bitcoin there. I'll buy another one at 56,900. And if it starts moving back up, I just think this is awesome. I'm saving $10,000. 3 weeks ago, I deployed $1 million at 66. Do I look worried?
No.
No, totally. They're around me all the time, dude. Like I'm probably down $2 or $3 million in my whole portfolio. It's paper, man. Okay, when the stock market when the interest rates went from 0 to 500 basis points, did this house go up in price? No, it didn't go up in price, dude. It went down in price. But I didn't have a chart looking at this home going, this house is only worth 22% less than it was 2 days ago. Nobody looked. Do you look at your car when you drive it off the lot and go, oh, wow, I just lost 17% of the car's value?
Yeah.
Right? This is a vehicle. That's a good analogy, actually. Bitcoin is a short-term and a short-term storage and a long-term, I think, vehicle for tremendous wealth. And it shouldn't matter these price fluctuations that happen before the ETF, after the ETF. This is just noise.
You used the term before, though, time decay. So what does that term mean when you talk about time decay?
Well, people that, for instance, that are trading futures, they don't have forever to get out of their position. When money, so money has opportunity costs, right?
Yeah.
I could go put this $57,000 into one of into one of my brother's real estate projects, make a 6% yield every month. So that 50 grand would make me $3,000. Yeah, about $3,000 a month, and it would literally pay me dividends 6% per year, and then one day he's going to send me the $57,000 back, and I'm still going to retain my 6% interest in that company forever until he sells that. Okay, and then I'll still own my 6% interest in the facility, so he would give me money from the sale of that. The time decay on that is, for instance,
Other opportunities.
opportunity costs, right? Silver sitting here. I own some silver at $11, and it's at 24. I don't think silver now can make the move to 48. That would get me a double. See, this is the way I have to think about it. Hey, what time period would silver have to move double? I'm pretty sure I'm going to see $100,000 Bitcoin this year.
So
Right?
Is time decay also related to then the liquidity of the market? Because it means you can get in and out
I don't
quicker?
know. No. Time decay is just the amount of time. that
That you have to spend to make a return.
and related to the time, the cost of money, right? So if
It's like time value money.
yes. Now time decay, like when I started really talking about time decay, is that the time starts beating you up, right? Like your return, for instance, I've probably made $5 million on this house. I'm never going to get a better return on this house than right now, right? My $5 million, if it doesn't go up appreciably every year, my return is decaying over time.
Yeah, especially when inflation's high.
I've got the biggest amount of return I'm gonna get. This is the problem with homes, and this is, we weren't planning on going there, and we'll get to a bunch of your comments. Hey guys, by the way, really appreciate you guys being here. Re-smash it out, do whatever you do to need to get this space bigger. Sam and I are like learning how to do this. You're gonna see us learn how to do this on the fly, which is kind of funny. Where was I headed with
housing, why you don't get a house because of time decay.
no. So when people tell me, hey, my house is an investment, it's usually the women, by the way. I will be very sexist here, okay? Women see homes as investments, and you're absolutely wrong, okay? You're absolutely wrong. It's a bad investment. It is a house to provide protection, okay? I have a Glock 17 sitting back here. It's not an investment. You know, I'm not expecting the Glock to go up in value.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
hope the damn thing works when I need it.
Yeah.
And that I know how to use it, right? But if a house was an investment and you buy a house for $700,000 and you were lucky enough to pick the timing right, and that house goes to 1.4 million, why doesn't anyone ever sell it? The wife should be jumping out the window on a Saturday morning when that house went from 700 to 1.4 million, saying, let's sell this investment and take our money and go somewhere else. That does not happen ever, okay, ever. You got to prime out the bloody. But once they've gone, you got to prime out the bloody house, because it's not an investment. It's their little safety net and their nursing center and their blanket and their, like, we don't really change. We just get better comfy blankets.
Yeah.
Right? As human beings. So, but it's very easy to confuse, having a home and making investment. And they should not be confused. I mean, this is why I say renting. Imagine if those people would have taken the $700,000 they put into the house and instead rented and paid $7,000. Right? That you could pay $7,000 a month. That's 70 G's a year. People would be like, oh, $84,000 a year to rent. Yeah, well, if you didn't take the other $400,000, the $500,000 and invest it in Bitcoin, of course you would not want to just, see, This is what people do. Well, if I rent, I'm just giving my money away. No, dude, you're renting, and by the way, you bought with the other money, right? You invested that money, that $300,000 or $400,000 or $500,000, into a stable investment, the same kind of time horizon you would have on a house, right? I mean, I wonder what the average household is. Mine's very, very short. Like, people go, I'm buying this for 20 years. Most people don't live in their homes for 20 years.
What's the longest you've lived in a home?
3 years.
Really? Okay.
My 17-year-old kids lived in at least 15 homes.
Wow. Okay.
15 homes on 2 continents. She's probably spent a good measurable amount of time in a plane, like as a house, right? Just sleeping. But anyway, that's my point, right?
Yeah.
Like, I bring up the plane. I think a plane is a better investment than a house. It gets me around and gets me to places much quicker. I get to see people. I cannot, we're having Dennis Porter overnight. Hey, Dennis, just come over to the house, right? For us, it's a private. We can have drinks. We can do whatever. And I really use this house. Like, I probably use this house better than most people because I turn it into a business solution, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we're way off track.
No, but it's good because it just helps conceptualize even small things like time decay when people want to understand the Bitcoin market. I mean, do you want to talk about some of the ARK Invest stuff? You think that's a good overlap between some of these markets and what they're saying?
Yeah, that's a really great. So guys, we'll get into some of this other stuff. This is how do I say this gentleman's name? I think Yassine.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Yassine.
This is a report it's a Big Ideas report by ARK Invest, and they're going through allocations. Now, this is a very boring link. We're going to put this link in here, and I'm not going to go through all of it. It's really fascinating what they're talking about on allocation. This particular allocation he's talking about for 2023 is nearly 20% for Bitcoin. Okay, you can see right here, allocation for gold for 2022 was 59%. This is what they're expecting a problem in the market, right? So they're changing all their allocations. You guys probably cannot see this very well, and that's okay. But
they upped their Bitcoin percentage. They
Yeah.
lowered their
From
gold
6
percentage
from 6% in 2022.
to almost 20% in 2023.
Correct.
So gold they lowered by 10%. Commodities they kept about the same. They have zero bonds. So in 2021,
Zero bonds, man.
so from 2022 onward, they sold all their bonds, and then equities went down marginally, 31% to 30%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting that in 2022 they said, "Hey, screw it, no more bonds."
Yeah, interesting. Huh? Well, the bonds market's just a dead market, man. They talk about risk-adjusted returns over the past 9 years. See, it's very important. You guys have to think about when you buy the house. Y'all don't even think about how long we're going to stay here. Hey, we're buying a house. You don't even think that's not an investment, okay? But if you start thinking in terms of 4 to 10 years and start studying really intelligent people. Now, why would I say for you to watch this? Because these people, this cat right here is going to every great school. Boring as this presentation may be, okay? Check this out. This is what people are talking to the rich about.
Yeah.
The super rich, okay? And this is the way they're going to look at this. What is the optimal allocation into Bitcoin? See, the terminology they use is even very different. Bitcoin's price surge, 150% increasing market cap to 800 billion. This is old news. Anyway, we're going to get you a link to this. I would encourage you guys to all follow this cat and really go through this 30-minute, fairly boring presentation and understand this is how sovereigns are being talked to. This is how large investment portfolios are being talked to, and this is how super rich people are being talked to. So if you want to learn about how people, in that strata really survive and make it, watch stuff like this. It is very, very informative of how we think. Talks about safe havens. Anyway, really, really interesting article. Get back on the chart. So just to let you guys know, okay, I am buying here, and I will probably add, a considerable amount of Bitcoin to this position here. To me, this is worth me looking at my silver going, shit, I'm getting the silver out of the garage, selling it. But to me, I deploy, look, I need more Bitcoin. So when I see an opportunity like this, am I going to be able to buy 10 Bitcoin at this price in 2 years? Don't know, okay? Maybe I can, but I sure like 57.1. If you would have told me at 74,000 and I could have picked it up at 57, I'd have been like, I'm a genius. So can it go down 10 grand? Sure, it can go down 10 grand. It could. It could go to 47. Could it go up 30?
It was interesting just when you zoomed out because, always having Chris on the show and some of the other traders you've had on the show talking about just that sideways action. It really does look like that, doesn't it?
Oh, totally, dude. See, these are days, okay? This is days. I don't know why people look at 1 hour charts. If you're not in short-term trading like Inks and that other guy that we spoke to the other day, why you would look at a 1 hour chart is beyond me. Why don't we flip the conversation a little bit, get to some of these comments. I've been yapping so much I haven't even had a chance to get to the comments. You seeing anything interesting here, Sam?
What's going on? Bitcoin trader call. Are you looking for suggestions to buy or get into your Trezor? Some people were asking 6% a year, 6% a month. Huge difference.
Yes, I'm sorry, 6% a year. Pardon me.
I like this one, guys. Silent split. Fools buy houses for rich men to live in. Have you heard that before?
I've never heard that phrase.
Do you think that's an accurate statement?
What is it again?
Fools buy houses for rich men to live in.
I don't really understand that. I mean, I'm a rich guy. I live in a house. I'm probably a fool.
I think the implication is fools buy the home, rich people rent it.
Oh, got it. I would prefer to rent this house. I mean, this house is not worth what it would be calculated in Bitcoin terms had I bought it. Had I taken the money that I bought this house with and deployed it into Bitcoin, I would have, this house is not worth $50-60 million, man. Okay, that would have been the return. But I do have to live somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
Small detail.
And I have actually been able to like reposition this whole complex where it's basically handling all our business.
Yeah.
So am kind of renting this house. I've gotten fairly clever about the engineering piece of this. That other people, if you don't own your own businesses, then you may not have that choice.
One question from Kelly, our boy Kelly. Do you think with Wall Street or traditional asset-minded people being more tuned into Bitcoin, that 20% drops will be defended more heavily by buyers now?
Well, guys, the volume, if you are having volume problems, let us know. 20%, we're used to seeing 30 and 35% swings on this, man. Okay, this is not normal here. 23% drop. See, I'm not a pig. If it could go down to 30%, but at 23%, I'm able to pick up volume here. Like when these things wick down, and by wicks, I mean, you see this. Let's get a wick.
Chris Inks is in the chat, by the way.
Hey, Chris.
He said, hit the like button and subscribe. What a G. Thanks for that, Chris.
Yeah, you're awesome, man. It's so good to have some gray hairs in this space. But these wick downs, okay? I mean, this is one day, went from 59 grand to 65. That's a 10% move, man. Okay, like I'm being able to buy things at a 10% discount to the market. So yeah, I don't think I don't think the super wealthy are going to care, dude. They're going to buy this. I mean, I've been in meetings before. People are no longer even. It was your observation, actually. We had a meeting one day and with a bunch of legacy guys. In fact, we're having lunch with them today, Vic. And there was 3 very wealthy guys, all from real estate. And you made the observation, oh, they're all interested in Bitcoin. Not one of them talked about price.
Yeah.
A year ago?
Yeah.
Hey, what's the price? What's the price? Now it's like, I think I need to get in. I'm hearing too many people say this. So Kelly's question, do you think with Wall Street traditional asset-minded people being more tuned into Bitcoin? Yeah, I think 20% drops. We may not see the big 50 and 60% drops that we've seen before. But we could. I mean, it really depends on how hot the bloody price goes when it starts to respond. We have seen, a lull in the investment from the investment on the ETFs. And that to me makes total sense. That you had an initial run of investment advisors, the kind of the edge case, the more aggressive funding sources. They came in, and now what we're seeing is this pause of people going, okay, the IRAs, the wirehouses, everyone's getting prepared. Morgan Stanley released a green light for 16,000 advisors to actively promote Bitcoin ETFs. That all will start happening this week, next week. So what, May the 1st, June, July, we got 3-4 months into summer. people will start taking off. The investment advisors will get ready for the fall. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of inflows in October, November. And I've said this for over a year. This doesn't all happen in March and April and May right after the ETF. Not that I need to be right, but I think the prediction is correct that Q4. My thesis is the big money and those advising the big money will not want to say we waited till 2025 to get our clients into Bitcoin. I think that's a really bad message. Hey, we got our guys into the 2024 vintage, the ETF era vintage. We got our clients in that year. Now, let's keep in mind the vintage for 2024 this is the vintage from 2024. 16. I do have a 16 down here somewhere, don't I? 2024. I'm so bad at this. Chris, I need you because you know how to do these things. I thought we were at, didn't we have, where am I? That is the problem. 38 grand. We've gone, there's a 16 in there somewhere. What was the point I was trying to make? We should have moved from, in less than 1 year, I don't know, where am I? Here we are. Yeah, here we are, 2023. So see, we're in the 16 grand right here, 16 all the way up to 57. Today, this is normal for Bitcoin, guys. This is just the little normal run. These people aren't looking at prices, and if they come in October, November, they're not going to care if it's 75 grand. They're going to make the allocation. And I don't think it's going to be 1%. Okay, like look at what ARK's saying. ARK's saying 20%. BlackRock's saying 28. Okay, 3.5 is fairly normal. And I went to a party last night and a week ago, and all the advisors are telling me, hey, by the way, this 1% rule doesn't really take effect on the first investment.
What is the 1% rule?
Well, this 1% allocation thing, because what really happens is a wealthy guy gets into Bitcoin. People forget, they get into Bitcoin, they're going to make an allocation of 1 to 5%, but their first one is, I'll do 2.5 million. See, it's not like that. No, they're not going to do 25 grand. Buy me 10 Bitcoin here. Yeah. Buy me 30 Bitcoin here. Okay,
they just immediately scoop it.
Well, for them, they're not going to make a $200,000 investment. No, they don't want to. It's a pain in the ass. They have to pay their lawyers. See, all you guys. Actually, let's switch to the Roger Ver thing. Because it's really relevant here. You guys need to understand what it costs to be a Bitcoin holder. Okay, this is a very good example of a guy that, and I don't know this guy's situation. I haven't met him. I take my hat off to any pioneer, okay? Yeah. Any pioneer, dude. It's a lonely, lonely journey. This guy actually educated a lot of people around Bitcoin. I know there's a lot of politics inside the Bitcoin community about him, whatever. But here's a situation where he clearly didn't get the best advisors. There's way too many email strings about what he was or was not doing from what I can tell. My point, though, is that if you think, and I do, I think Bitcoin will see $1 million one day, I have to treat this asset differently, right? I have to protect it. I have to get, this is one of the reasons I invested so heavily in Node 40 was because I think investing in Bitcoin, you need some other tools around you to protect yourself from this kind of stuff, not knowing. So this guy's in a lot of trouble. I've always said there's people out there with 200,000 Bitcoin.
Well, here's what's interesting. So to give you guys just a brief, in case you've read it on Twitter, I'll just read some from the article. So this guy Roger Ver had 2 companies, right? And between himself and those 2 companies, he had about 131,000 Bitcoin. And so his idea was, and he was talking to his attorneys, I'm going to renounce my U.S. citizenship. I'm going to go to move to St. Kitts, and then I'm just going to pay the what is it called?
Expatriated
expatriation tax.
fund, yeah.
Which
But he's got to report for 7 years.
Correct.
See, that's the piece people forget. Hey, you still got to do your taxes for 7 years
So
after you renounce.
the funny thing about the U.S. is, yeah, you can literally burn your passport. That doesn't mean you just get out of taxes. You can say, I'm no longer a U.S. citizen. The IRS and the U.S. government is like, no, that's not how that works. So that's actually a process that you have to go through. And whatever you think of the government and like how they've been treating Bitcoin and crypto, and of course working in the policy space, I see this firsthand. That doesn't mean that they don't always have probable cause to go after people who are very obviously trying to cheat the system, right? It's kind of like if a Bitcoiner goes and robs the gas station, right? You're not supposed to rob a gas station, right? You're going to get arrested. And just because you're getting arrested and happen to be a Bitcoiner doesn't mean that they're persecuting you specifically. So essentially it just caught up to him. And the jig is still up on whether, his attorneys gave him bad advice, if he just went ahead and did it himself. Some of these people, he's a self-proclaimed anarchist. They try to operate by the laws, but then have this idea in their head that, well, actually I'm so wealthy now that they can't touch me. And that's not how that works. So he was in Spain, and I think he's waiting to be, reported over here to the U.S. and then face trial. What's interesting is I wonder how much in taxes that he owes. They say he evaded nearly $50 million. I wonder what that actual number is, and I also wonder how easy it is for that for him to pay that up, right? Like, where's his Bitcoin now? Because also what's interesting is, I thought he sold all his Bitcoin for Bitcoin Cash, right? And so I wonder how Bitcoin Cash and that investment's been treating him. I don't know how politically active he's been either. It's interesting to juxtapose him with CZ, who's at Binance, who just got 4 months, and then SBF.
Crime of the century, dude.
Yeah.
I don't mean crime. Like I'm not saying I actually like CZ. I think
he's an interesting guy.
Another pioneer. But,
yeah.
But dude. Crime of the century, man. 4 months, what a piddly little deal. I'd do 4 months.
Well, and there was a lot of back and forth because CZ's the reason FTX collapsed, right? Originally, he's the one who kind of sparked it. And so if you look at, some of the geopolitics behind that, what was FTX being used for? What are some of CZ's connections? Like that whole web, we're not even going to get into that. But you're seeing how the targeting of these different CEOs is going. And you even look at like Sam Bankman-Fried, for example, like they got rid of all of his charges that had to do with campaign finance, right? Because obviously he was involved in the political game. Now he's still getting 25 years, although I think they're going to appeal that. Who knows if it will actually be 25 years. But you should really take note of how they're going after these individuals and what they're going after them for. And Roger Ver, for all you people who've been following for so long, like he was just one of the people in that OG circle who really got prominent. There were a lot of people who took the Roger Ver approach. So what's going to happen to them, right? What's going to happen to the other people who said, we're just going to do what Roger Ver does and just skedaddle? It's a big warning shot. I bet there's probably a lot of people sweating now. A lot of people sweating.
Bro, like all the stuff that I've learned of how easy it is to track this. I think if you haven't cleaned, like I would be cleaning my closet right now. What is the message the U.S. government is sending the world about this? Are they sending a message?
Yeah, the message is you can't go anywhere. The message is burning your passport does not work.
Do we have extradition with Spain?
Yes.
We do.
We have extradition with, I think, over 70 to 80% of the world. And if we don't, we can make it happen, right? The countries that we don't have it with might be like Russia, China, Venezuela. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure we don't have one with Russia.
Yeah, pretty
China.
Sure. But, even then, you're not safe because Russia can just be like, you know what, we're going to encourage favor. We'll trade you a guy. Sure, this guy means nothing to us. Go have your way with him. Just give us something in return. And we'll do that, so it's not even a guarantee.
I mean, the other recent enforcement act was against this wallet, right? The mixer.
Yes, Samurai Wallet.
See, I think that's going to happen. I don't know how people. I think like Monero. I think obfuscation techniques, right?
Correct.
Like when you're hiding shit, the government's going to come at you, right? And you guys can say it's not fair. You have to defend it. Now, this cat's got 100,000 Bitcoin. That's worth $8 billion. He's probably got more than that. Like, I don't know why
like
anybody
hidden
would
away,
stop.
stashed away.
It's all over the place. And this thing about, hey, I lost it on a boating accident, dude, it's not going to fly. You still have to hire lawyers and auditors and defend it. And it can go on for years and years.
See, Ver allegedly concealed from his accountant that he had received and sold to both of his companies Bitcoin that year. So he didn't tell his accountants how much Bitcoin he sold from his companies. What else does this say? This says the IRS Criminal Investigation Cybercrimes Unit is investigating the case. I mean, listen, the software, what's funny is any software that we're using for our own accounting purposes to track our own stuff, I mean, the IRS is going to have that. We know the whole gig of blockchain is it's open. You know, Bitcoin's always been pseudonymous, not completely anonymous. And you can only do so much to hide your money. And it's also a lot of effort to hide your money. And your average person is not going to be doing that. Your high net worth individuals are not going to be doing that, right? Because what you're seeing is a transition from the Roger Ver days of Bitcoin being this anarchist philosophy of we're going to escape governments entirely to, hey, Bitcoin's actually just a great asset to invest in, and now BlackRock's involved, right? And so you're actually seeing that old world of Bitcoin kind of succumb to the new world. And that's Roger Ver is going to be kind of the example of that. 7 years, right? 7 years?
What's 7 years?
It's been 7 years since he did all of this, 2014.
Yeah, I didn't realize this. There's no statute of limitations on tax fraud.
Yeah.
Like, wow. I didn't know that. Anyway, this is like, who wants to have 100, 200, 300,000 Bitcoin and go through this shit? Like, I would not want to be going through this, guys. So, hey, the thing is, do your homework, get a really good Bitcoin crypto narrative software program where you can show anybody on the planet what you did and did not do. That is my recommendation. That's what I do. I use Node 40. I'd recommend you use it, but you guys defend yourself against one of the like that. You could go to Spain and get picked up by the U.S. government. It's stunning to me, man. Stunning. I mean, he did not expect that.
We'll pick you up anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's one of the comments, Bitcoin trader, it sucks, but the wrath that'll come down on you for hiding will be horrendous. Just pay the taxes and get it over with.
Like, quite frankly, 50 million. I think that's like a chump change for this cat. Like,
it's better than life in prison.
well, yeah. Hey, a few comments here. Best of Detroit, dude. I think you're gonna win the. We're getting ready to get some merch, and if we had some merch, I would have sent this to you. It says, Gary, you are by far. He used a little pun on by. BTC channels on YouTube, best channel on Bitcoin. Thank you, man. I agree with you. A lot of these channel hosts are kids who don't have a clue. I'm just sharing my investment journey into Bitcoin. It's not investment advice. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And if other people, decide that's what they're going to do, then awesome for you. And if you don't, that's awesome also. Tiny inflows. China's not a deal. It's was never going to be a deal. I think it was $12 million into the ETF.
Yeah.
Dude, it's new demand. It's cool. Like, it's going to come from everywhere. 12 million here, 12 million there.
The more on-ramps.
And the more countries participating, this is good. Okay, this keeps the U.S. honest. So what do you guys think? Do you think 57,000? Let's get back on this chart. Do you think 57,000 is a good entry point? Looks like it wants to break down. Love to have Chris on here. Looks like it's going to break down past 57 and go test the 56 again. If I can pick some up at 56, dude, I'm buying. Like 56.9, 56.8.
When do you put your orders in? Like, do you look at the price that day and say, "Ooh, let me put some orders in now"? Do you already have them in? Like, how do you determine?
No, I put them in about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So it was at 66, and I was like, see, this is risk management. Okay, I come up with a plan, and I go, hey, look, I pick some up at 72. I mean, because I do DCA every week, but for bigger chunks, I'll look at, like I sold a house, right? So I deployed some of this into into the exchange, and I said, okay, look, at 66, if I can buy it at 10% off, I'll buy some at 60. Then I'll buy some at 59. Then I'll buy a piece at 57. And I keep layering in. As the market was moving the last couple of days, I started changing some of those. I'd go in and edit them, maybe bring them down a little bit. Hey, I think I want to pick up some. Like I picked up probably 5 at 61. Because I'm like, hey, what if it doesn't? I don't need to be right to the penny on this. Mm-hmm. This isn't fucking Walmart, guys. Okay, I ain't looking for super discounted. I'm not going to the dollar club here. Okay?
Yeah.
This is not a $5 bag of toys. This is, I just want to be in the bandwidth. My average cost is $40,783. Okay, now every time I buy here, I'm increasing the price of my weighted average cost. Some people that bought $7,000 Bitcoin, they refuse to buy here because they don't want their price to go up. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I need more Bitcoin. See, more Bitcoin, like I don't worry about the dollar, the dollar value. I need more Bitcoin. You listen to this guy. He had 113,000 Bitcoin. That will never be possible for me, ever. I think I can get to 1,000. 1,000 Bitcoin to me makes this family bulletproof almost, right? If I'm doing things legally, bulletproof for like generations.
But to the counter of that, you're not going to have tax fraud, right? So people.
No, none of this stuff is going to happen.
So even your 1,000 Bitcoin might even be worth more than his.
There you go,
like 131,000 Bitcoin.
Because it doesn't come with the
risk of getting screwed.
Well, plus how would it? My kids are gonna. Hey, my dad's been arrested for tax fraud. Okay.
They do that at show and tell.
And listen, I've had problems with the government before, but I've been able to go through it and defend it. And even those, like they're expensive, they're time consuming, they tear your life up. And then social media, people see it, and then people start
make their own stories, do their own crap.
Yeah, they start smashing you. So I'm going to buy some more here at 57, dude. This thing looks like it's going to puke out, right? I mean, it does look like it's going to do 52. Like it's going to want to go back to this. I don't know if Chris agrees, but I think Chris and Fibaswamy, they're here. I think they would probably agree this thing's going to probably break down. But again, I don't have to be right on every purchase. What I have to do is be back to our duration. I have to be right over a longer period of time, right? And this offers me an opportunity to continue to bring in Bitcoin, stacking the Bitcoin, adding the bushels of corn that will never decay. I get to add those. Minimally, if you don't believe in the dollar, Bitcoin has to do extremely well against the dollar.
Everyone in the chat is hoping for 50K. I'm all in at 50K, but I'm still DCAing. Start buying BTC around 50K.
Robert, are you really, dude? Because I gotta ask you, okay? Because I think when markets start to puke out, it's easy to say at 57 grand, you're all in at 50K. But really, would you be? Because if it's hitting 50, like it's looking at 48. And then it's looking at 42. And I can't buy like that. I can't go, okay, it's going to drop $24,000 and then I'll be a player.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's a 30% retracement, man. And you might, like, that's cool. And maybe you're only buying half a Bitcoin. I am not buying half a Bitcoin. I mean, I could wait. I hope I can buy some 50. But again, I'm not at the thrift store. Okay. Like I just, this money that's coming in here does not care if it's at 57, 50, 47, or 77. Doesn't give a toss. In fact, I would build a case there'll be more people. There'll be more people interested in 100 than there will be at 50. This wealth.
Yeah.
Right? As the asset class gets bigger, I don't know what this thing is.
Nothing.
But as the asset class, if it's probably worth $1 billion, $1 trillion today. Bitcoin as an asset class, as the value of that asset class goes up. Saudi Aramco, for instance, biggest energy company in the world, they're worth $3 trillion. I think Bitcoin needs to be priced that way, somewhere in the $3 trillion market. That's a triple from here, dude. That's a $150,000 Bitcoin. And that makes sense to you, doesn't it? You're like, oh yeah, $3 trillion. It could be bigger than NVIDIA, smaller than Saudi Aramco. That kind of makes sense to me, right? Like really makes sense. And so that's the long-term narrative, not the short-term narrative, what drives this price.
Yeah.
Supply and demand right now are driving this price, okay? There's more sellers than there are bidders. That's it, period. In a 3-day time frame. And we're finding out where this price wants to be. Like, this is price discovery right here. You guys are trying to figure out why is it doing this? It's doing it because the market, supply and demand, are actually trying to figure out, hey, where is the balance here? And as soon as we find that equilibrium, you'll see the market start to reverse. Until then, it's going to puke out. So what do you guys think? You think I'm full of shit? Or...
Well, Simon said you're giving out all the secrets, Gary.
Well, you know what, Simon? The cool thing about this is we can all have the secrets and all benefit. Like there's no edge here.
Well, then
Isn't
even
that cool?
some people have the secrets and still don't act, and so that's why it's like.
Well, this was my point on the guy with 50 grand. Hey, if it smashes down to 50 grand, I'm probably going to be like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I will execute a 50 grand. I don't have a bid there. But that's the other thing, okay? When these markets act like this, I went and removed all my bids. Okay, I removed them all. I'm like, hey, let me see what's going to happen here, okay? Because I bought enough yesterday and the day before. So I added enough to my collection. It's like adding ammo to your magazine. And then I pulled my bids. So now the market's not seeing my bids. Right?
You pulled them because of the volatility?
No, I pulled them because I had stacked enough, and I said, let me just back up a little bit. And like last night, I would have gotten filled. I actually pulled all my bids because I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning hanging out with somebody in Tampa, but I wasn't watching this. Woke up this morning and went, ooh, dude, 56. And I'm glad that I pulled my bids, but I had bought a bunch yesterday. I had not expected this allocation to happen this quickly. Like I probably picked up, maybe 20 Bitcoin yesterday and the day before.
And to clarify, you pull your bids because you actually think, hey, this might go lower.
Yeah. I mean, as I got more information, right? Here we got order placed for 52 grand. I may not get, but I stacked my ass through the entire bear market. Good for you, ED. See, ED, that's the way to think about this. See, he's saying 53K is a good buy. Dude, 53K, okay? Like 56,000. I am going to buy right here. I will tell you that. I'm not going to do it on live stream because I can't show you all my stuff. But I will buy 2 to 4 Bitcoin at this price. I cannot believe that I'm going to be able to do this, dude. Like I'll get a 4x out of this.
And you don't always.
I will absolutely get a 400% return on this.
And you don't always do bids. Well, you see the price and be like, hey, I'm just going to go and buy right now.
Oh, dude, what am I doing? Well, let's see now. The price is 56. Do you guys do this? Okay, because this is psychosis. It's 57,706 right now. I'm gonna put a bid in for 56.5. Bro, it's $200. Like I'm not gonna fix this price. The best way for me to do it is just to go in there and go, hey, 56.6. Like if I like it, hey, I want to buy a Bitcoin. You know, give me the market. Or, you know, I think the guy's right down here. Hey man, put a bid in at 56.5, put a bid in at 55.5, put a bid in at 54.5.
Yep.
And you just keep adding, whether it's 0.1 or 1 Bitcoin, you add as your allocation allows.
Well, and Simon says, which I think we've said before, time horizon is key. So it really doesn't matter when you have the right time horizon.
Dude, time horizon is everything. You know, if you held Bitcoin for 5 years, anyone that's ever held Bitcoin for 5 years, no one lost money.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't say that about a lot of assets, man.
And it's outperformed the market too.
Massively outperformed the market. What else we want to talk about today, guys? Do y'all have any topics other than going to prison, being haunted by the IRS?
Yeah, you guys got 10 minutes to ask us anything. Always know your cost basis. That's
for the
huge.
weekly chart, my man. Yeah. See the cost base. Okay, so somebody asked for the weekly chart. That was ED. There you go. Now, I always look at people and go, wow, do you really want to fight this chart? By the way, these vertical yellow lines are the halvings. I don't know why that one's way back there, but
a lot of people want to know about either ADA, Litecoin, or Ethereum, because there might be an Ethereum ETF. Do you buy ADA?
Guys, there's not going to be an Ethereum ETF, okay? That's not happening. It's definitely not happening in May. I'm not convinced it'll happen this year.
Why is that?
Well, I mean,
not enough support.
I think there's still enough going on with the SEC that they're
the SEC has kind of carved out and said a lot of times Bitcoin's different.
Yeah.
And so I think there is a case to be made that even though you can see the big players looking at the money they could make from Ethereum, the SEC and the Fed has essentially said, we like Bitcoin, we don't know about anything else.
You know, I was listening to Saylor yesterday. He's doing a MicroStrategy corporate in Vegas about...
his MicroStrategy conferences.
I should have gone to that, actually. Instead of going to Miami, I should have gone to that show. I actually thought about going.
He had one in Orlando.
Yeah,
like a year ago.
He made a comment yesterday on live, and he said that in May, it will become very apparent that there is one big winner here, and it's Bitcoin. And that, like, it was almost alluding to, hey, Ethereum is going to get its wings clipped, and Bitcoin's going to be the dominant player, or he, like me, I think the big money that's coming into this space is less interested in the Ethereum ETF. That they're going to see the allocation is going to be made to King Kong Bitcoin. And maybe in 2025, we get an ETF on Ethereum and some other stuff. People are talking about other coins. I don't get it personally. We should make Bitcoin work really, really well. We still have a lot of things to work out on this ETF. You know, you got Hong Kong going in kind, and we're a cash market. And to me, we should be an in-kind marketplace. And I'm hoping the U.S. changes that view. I think it would be a much better market in kind versus cash.
Someone said, I actually got really interested once you spoke about real estate in Bitcoin. That was the most interesting topic I've heard in the last year.
What's the comment though?
That was the comment. He just wanted to say, Lammy Fabrio. Yeah, right there. I actually got really interested once you spoke about real estate and Bitcoin. That was the most interesting topic I've heard in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I guess he's talking about owning a home, right?
Yeah.
Investing in a home. Yeah, I don't really get it, dude. And then we got Gabe Higgins. Hey, Gabe.
Oh, what's up, Gabe? Where do you see Gabe?
Right down there. SEC is going after ETF Ethereum as a security. I agree with that. I think they're going to back up. Personally, I got to tell you, it looks like a security to me. I don't even know how they could ever think it was like Bitcoin. But
What are you speaking about in Nashville? Do you know? At the Bitcoin conference? Someone asked that.
what am I speaking about?
Yeah, Swami wants to know. Looking forward to Nashville. What is your speaking topic? I don't think we know yet.
I don't think they kind of just tell me what they want me to talk about. But who knows, dude? Like in 2 months, we could be talking about, the assassination of a president,
Yeah.
World War
Yeah.
III, and Bitcoin.
I bet you a lot of people in the chat. Hey guys, if you're going to be in Nashville, let us know. That'll be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, we are. Our whole team will be going to Nashville. I'm speaking there. Sam will probably get a speaking engagement there also. Also in Miami this week for F1. Here's a few more comments. Laura asked about silver
Oh, silver or
versus
Bitcoin?
Bitcoin. I have some silver. I have 27,000 ounces of silver, and dude, moving this stuff is like a lot of work. The time horizon, Bitcoin's going to destroy silver and gold. Pick any time horizon. 1 year, 4 years, it'll destroy silver and gold, in my opinion. Some people do disagree with that, but if gold goes up, like people are saying, and silver follows, I don't know how Bitcoin doesn't do extremely well. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a cheerleader for silver, gold, and Bitcoin. I'd like to see them all fly.
Well, and now as of this happening, Bitcoin has a higher stock to flow ratio than gold. Higher or lower? I'm pretty sure it's higher. Which means it's now more of a scarce resource than gold.
Hey, Simon. Simon's talking about real world assets. This new code word, RWA. I just want to warn everyone of something. What is a real world asset? This is bullshit, okay? Someone's changing the nomenclature already on us. Don't get hoodwinked with words, okay? Real world assets. This is what they're saying. My house is a real world asset. My house is a derivative of the financial construct in the United States, okay? It is not a real world asset. This is a piece of paper. Now, we're sitting in this room, okay? I got it, but my ownership is a piece of paper, dude. It's not a real world asset, okay? It is no different than a fucking token.
Yeah.
Okay, my house ownership is a token. It's a piece of paper that's centralized by a bank. It's held by a bank, probably been hypothecated out, right, to another bank. But this is not a real world asset, okay? A real world asset is probably like a gun and some ammo and food. It's a real world asset. I have something I can actually, survive on. But to suggest that we have real world asset and digital, see, this is, for me, this is like, hey, you're hoodwinking society now by giving the old legacy system real world asset class categorization. You're diminishing Bitcoin very subtly, right? It's a weird, like, Bitcoin
Psychology
no
game.
different than my freaking house contract. None. My insurance on this house is nothing more than a token, right? It's only as good as the guy that's giving me the insurance. So just be careful, guys, okay? They're already changing the discussion, the topics, so we start to think that the old world is the real world. There's nothing real about the old world. Let's see. This guy says, Trump 2024, this guy is a drunk. Okay. Which one of us, man? You or me? Do you think some central banks are purchasing Bitcoin along with gold? I actually think there are sovereigns already putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Gary, do you think it's a good idea to pay off the house and hold 4 Bitcoins after? I wouldn't pay off your house if you have a really cheap mortgage. See, that's the other thing. Y'all hear me say, hey, don't own a house. If you have a 3% mortgage that's 10 years or 20 years, do not sell that, okay? That is really cheap money. And now what you ought to figure out is, like a guy called me the other day, wanted some consulting. and he wanted to buy more Bitcoin, and he was like, okay, I'm going to sell this and do this. I'm like, hey, look, your house, you have a 3% mortgage, and your house is worth 3 times more than the mortgage. Go borrow some more money off that house, refinance your house at 5 or 6%, and grab 200 grand and use your house to buy the Bitcoin, or go sell the damn house. Get rid of the mortgage, but I don't think you're going to replicate a 3% note, right? That's cheap. If you have a 3% mortgage and it's transferable, you should sell your house at a premium to someone that wants that note. And most of these interest rates aren't transferable anymore. But if you're military, many of those are transferable. If you're selling to another military guy, I think. By the way, you want to tell people what we're going to start doing with the military?
Well, we have the call Thursday, so maybe wait.
Shit, yeah, but I already know what we're going to do.
Oh, true.
No.
Yeah, you tell
Anyway,
me.
we're going to do some really cool stuff I've always had this desire to be more involved with the military and veterans in particular, and so I think I finally found the end, and we're investigating that in a couple of days. That's going to be exciting.
And we're at our hour mark.
Are we?
Yeah, 11:30.
Guys, should we have an hour, and I mean, YouTube might, charge us $1 million if we go over 1 minute. So this is my plan of duty, Sam. I am going to buy 2 Bitcoin here
Okay.
at 56.9. Hopefully, I don't have to pay 57. I would just be such an idiot paying $14 more.
Yeah.
A whole $28 for 2 Bitcoin, just to have my ego needs met. Anything else here that we need to cover?
No, I mean, I think we got it all. I think between the tax fraud, the price movement, and then even talking about just some of the real estate and geopolitical stuff. I mean, we covered a lot today when you think about it.
Yeah. It's, Gary, are you nervous about the next 3 months of Bitcoin? What's your best guess? I'm probably more nervous doing these bloody podcasts than I am 3 months on Bitcoin, quite frankly. And really, it's not the nervousness doing it. It's like I'm not as organized as other people. Like people go on there, they have their set schedule. You and I are bouncing around with all kind of ideas. Then I see things, people being rude. Because if you guys have something negative to say, like, you can say negative shit if you want, but I'm not sure how that helps you or me or anybody else.
It doesn't. They just that's how people are.
So when you're perfect, unlike me, start up your YouTube channel and get on a video thing and do this on a regular basis. Share all the content you have from all your life world experiences, and then invite all these people to come and survey you and let them hit you wide open with whatever criticism they may think about you. I actually do better when I'm encouraged to do better. So I don't know. I don't beat you up on a regular basis. Hey man, you're wearing shorts today. What the hell is wrong with you? So anyway, last comments. That was my way of slapping that guy around. I'm not even going to tell you who you are, but tick tick tick.
No,
slap you
yeah,
around.
I think that's a good note to end on. Everything should be positive. I mean, if you're not positive, you're inviting negative energy in your life, and it always comes back to bite you.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, guys, we're going to end the stream here, and we'll see you in a couple of days. Probably see you on if we have more federal cases and more volatility, we'll pop another one of these up ad lib. So thank you very much. Have an awesome week. Just hit that.
Yep. And